Hello, we prepared the presentation of Bookshop. We created database for Bookshop. So next slide is content. Our presentation includes introduction, entities and attributes, relationships between entities, our diagram, create database and create table statements, insert into and select statements, queries, conclusion, and then references. So, introduction. Our database contains information that is stored in the bookstore. It stores information about books and their authors, genres of books, information about users, orders, and purchases, and the rating of the books and authors themselves. The purpose of the development is creation of the database for the systemization and processing of information, implementation of tasks necessary for the functioning of a book company, ensuring reliable storage of information, quick preparation of the necessary reports. Next slide, entities and attributes. So the first table is book. It includes ID book, name book, ID genre as a foreign key, date of published, and ID author as a foreign key. So the second table, it's users or customers. It contains ID users, last name, first name, and date of birth. Table sort is author. It contains ID author, name, ID book, and date of birth. Table 4 is genre. It contains ID genre, genre name, and ID book. Table 5, payment cards. It contains ID payments, payment amount. The next table is order. It contains ID order, number order, ID user, ID address, ID payment as a foreign key. So the next table, 7, address. It contains ID address, city, street, neighborhood, number of house. So the next table, 8, login. It contains ID login, login name, password. So next table, shopping basket. It contains basket ID, user ID, book ID, price, and date. So next table is 10, ratings. ID rating, ID book, ID order, and rating value. That's it. So the next slide is relationship between entities. The first relationship is book user, many to many. One user can read several books and one book can be in several users. The second one is other book, many to many. One book can be written by several other, one author may write several books. This next book genre, many to many. One book may have several genres, one genre may have several books. The first one, user login, one to one. One user can have only one login, and login can be only in one user. And next relationship is order and address, one to one. One order can be sent to one address, and one order will be sent to the addresses. Ratings, books, one to many. One book may have one rating value, one rating may have in several books. Rating other. One author may have one rating value, one rating may have in many others. Order, payment card. Payment card can pay for several orders and one order can be paid with one card. Next, basket user, one to many. One user can make several products in a basket when the basket can be owned by one user. The next, basket book. In basket may be several books when a book can be in several baskets. So the next slide is our AR diagram. As we said on the previous slides, we have expressed all this in a diagram, show tables and attributes inside them, and also show the relationship between them.
So, next slide, it's create database and the create table statements. First, we created the bookshop database, create database, and in the second example, we decided to take the book table as an example, created the book table with book ID attributes is from OK, book name, date. And the next slide, insert into and select statements. With the help of insert, we inserted the date. For example, ID, book name, war and the pace, and the date of published 1867 years. And with the help of select, we brought out the table. So next slide, queries. In the first example, we printed last name and the first name of author, but with the conditional first name in ascending order and the last name in descending order. In the second example, we decided the idea of books whose rating in between 70 and 100. And the last example, we decided the maximum rating and the minimum rating. Conclusion: our project is over. We think the goal set for us has been fulfilled. Creating database for systemization and information processing, we have completed the tasks necessary for the work of the book, ensuring reliable storage of information, fast preparation of the necessary reports, learned to create various charts and graphs using pgadmin4. We have also created a simple and most importantly program. A very simple interface allows you to work in the program even for a child and an older generation who find it very difficult to use new technologies, including computers. And in conclusion, we would like to say a big thanks for the developers. After all, without his development, we would have succeeded. Thank you all for your help. Thank you for attention.